WWE superstar LA Knight is frustrated with his current use in the company and at the fact that he is not in a title match at WrestleMania. What did LA Knight have to say about the situation? Where does he think he belongs in the company? All that and much more, including a WWE star potentially going to AEW very soon. All that much more coming up in this video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Okay, so LA Knight, someone who had a hell of a year in 2023, did more than expected by many critics, many fans, and he really shined and proved that he is not only a guy in WWE, but he has the potential to be one of their top guys. If you listen to the reaction that he gets, if you listen to any of his promos and even his in-ring work, it's undeniable that he is one of the best in the world as far as being a character on TV and getting a reaction from the crowd. What he's done is absolutely incredible in 2023. And he even said so much in an interview recently with the Gorilla Position. He was asked, I should say, whether or not he was frustrated with his current use in the company on that podcast. And here's what he had to say, quote, "Yes, yeah, in a certain way. So I look at my career in the sense of, in 2023, in all reality, should have never happened the way it happened. That was insanity. That was crazy. Literally, legitimately, there were no plans for me until the Royal Rumble. There was nothing. I was there because I was trusted to be good enough to hang with Bray and make him look good. I think I did that. But in the process, my God, did a light shine. But for whatever reason, there were plans for me after that. For those things to go the way they did the last year is amazing. But I get all the congratulations and everyone being like, you've done so much." Went on to say, "I'm like, I have, but everything that I've done from my career standpoint is pretty good, but from a merit standpoint," and here's where he says it, from a merit standpoint, from a standpoint of adding to my resume, hey, this guy's been an Intercontinental Champion. This guy's been a United States Champion. This guy's been a WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble winner, any of that stuff. I don't really have anything to hang my hat on in that regard. So obviously, LA Knight kind of taking both routes of being, thankful for being in the position that he is, but also understanding that, he is over and he is someone who the company has made and will likely make a lot of money with. And he's wondering why he's not involved in a major match at WrestleMania, why he's not in the Intercontinental title picture, why he's not in the United States Championship picture. And this is someone, by the way, a few months ago that, obviously, looking back, hindsight's 2020, but this is someone who people were legitimately talking about, maybe this should be the guy to beat Roman Reigns. And those discussions happened, those conversations online especially did happen. But LA Knight, I think, he is correct and he is right and he is well within his right to be frustrated a little bit, because if you look at who's getting the most amount of reaction and who's over, you hear the yeah chants everywhere. They're taking over WWE shows, they're taking over indie shows, you can hear them at AEW shows. It's more than just the chant. LA Knight is legitimately over. And he is right also in that the guy doesn't really have an accomplishment in WWE. The closest thing he got to an achievement is winning the $1 million, the $1 million championship. Come on, which is literally a toy championship. It's not real. It's not an achievement. He hasn't won a Royal Rumble. He hasn't won Money in the Bank. He hasn't won anything tangible. And from that point, I understand the frustration, and I totally see his point of view. Now, will those things come in the future? I think so. I think LA Knight will hold a world title in WWE. It is a matter of time. It is a matter of when, not if he will. I think that will happen because we have 2 world championships. There's plenty to go around at this point, and I think The real thing to watch is when LA Knight turns back into a heel, how that's going to play into things. Because I think like down the line, he could be a heel that could take the belt off of Cody Rhodes if he does in fact end up winning at WrestleMania. So a lot here with LA Knight. I think that, the best is yet to come when it comes to, his standing with WWE and where like things go from there. But moving on to All Elite Wrestling, there's been a lot of talk about potential free agent moves that AEW can make and is already making. One of those free agents that they are in talks with as of this moment, former WWE superstar Shelton Benjamin is in talks with All Elite Wrestling. This according to FightfulSelect.com. Shelton Benjamin and Tony Khan have held talks about bringing in the former Intercontinental Champion. He was obviously released back in November. He was part of like those releases back then. And they've been having talks, apparently, according to FightfulSelect.com, as far back as a few months ago. So they seem to be pretty serious about bringing him in. And look, I think there's an argument to be made that AEW probably has a loaded enough roster. They don't need to bring in a guy like Shelton Benjamin. But I think part of the thing we miss here is, it's not only just about bringing in Shelton Benjamin to be on your TV show. The good thing with AEW is it allows you a bit more flexibility than you would have otherwise as far as, working outside of AEW, working for independent organizations. Like there is that flexibility. You also have Ring of Honor attached to it. So there's plenty of places to fit Shelton Benjamin in. But for AEW, I think it's more important to have a guy like Shelton Benjamin backstage. Like you want someone who has been around this business, seen it all, done it all. Like he has seen a lot. He's grown up. Shelton Benjamin has in like 3 different almost generations of this business going back to the early 2000s. And he's seen the business change for the better. And I think having that perspective to help out, especially a young roster in AEW is much needed. Now, of course, like the question becomes like, where do you fit him in? If you have him on the main roster, like what do you have him do? I think that Shelton Benjamin is a guy that could very easily fit into a group and add more legitimacy to a group, whether that's a Blackpool Combat Club, which I think that would be a great fit for Shelton Benjamin. I think putting him in with Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Claudio and Wheeler Yuta, especially right now with Wheeler Yuta like not really being utilized as much on AEW TV, like he kind of fill that gap there. And he's a legitimate badass. We all know his record. We all know his background in amateur wrestling. Like he's someone who should legitimately be taken as a threat. So I think he would fit in well there. You could also do some fun stuff with him and Bullet Club Gold, I think. The Bang Bang Gang. Like there's the positive side of having so many factions is you can highlight more people. And I think that's what AEW is trying to do. Now, one more name that I wasn't planning on talking about, but I think we should just fit in here at the end, is Sheamus. There have been a lot of rumors, not many reports, but a lot of rumors about Sheamus, what he desires, where he wants to go. And prevailing sentiment, at least for as far as the rumors go, is that he could end up in AEW whenever his contract is up. There was like he's been teasing stuff online a lot. He's been saying hi, goodbye, all these cryptic, tweets, and people don't really know what's up with Sheamus. As far as will he end up in AEW, it's hard to tell, but I think that Sheamus is at a point in his career where I think like he's made the money. He's been around in WWE for a long time, been a top guy in WWE for a while. He's made the money. And I think like he is a guy who I think will really fit in well with the Blackpool Combat Club. And I know I just said Shelton Benjamin would, but like Sheamus would be like an automatic fit. Not only because he's like his main thing is I'm here to wrestle and have banger matches. Like I'm not here to tell stories. I'm not here to cut promos. I'm just here to fight, fella. Like he would have banger matches there. You could have a reunion with The Bar with him and Claudio, and they could run a roughshod through that tag team division and be made like a credible tag team together. Like there's a lot of fun stuff he could do in AEW. So will he go there? We don't know, but that's something to watch out for in 2024. I'm telling you, Sheamus to AEW would be would be very interesting. Obviously, there's a lot that still needs to play out as far as contract goes, but we're going to keep y'all updated on everything we know about this stuff. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know in the comment section what you think about LA Knight's frustrations, Shelton Benjamin potentially to AEW. Hell, let me know if you think Sheamus would be a great fit in AEW as well. Let me know. Want to hear from you. Want to interact with y'all. Be sure to keep it real. Have a great day.